welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am doing a favourites video. I didn't do one last month for some strange reason, so I am doing one for this month. And there's a helicopter flying around. But yeah, I'm going to show you everything I've liked. So not just what I've liked this month, but also, well, technically last month, but also what I've liked the month before, because I didn't obviously do one then. So I've got a list because I always forget. I'm just going to go through everything that's basically in front of me and I can show you. One of the first ones is a bin buddy. I don't know why, but our bin was just horrible and smelly, and even when it's been cleaned and sprayed with so many like stuff. So I just thought, let's try and do something about it. So I was in Aldi once and these were just there. So I'm sure you'll be able to get them online. But yeah, they're called Bin Fresh Buddies, or Bin Buddy Fresh. This one is a berry flavour. I love berry. Berry is probably like my favourite scent ever. It keeps bins fresh and clean for days, eliminates smells, soaks up the liquid and repels flies and insects. So it's basically like it's like a shaker. It's got some powder stuff in it, and yeah, what you do is I do it as soon as I've emptied the bin. I put this in before I put the bin bag in at the bottom of my bin, and then every so often, when obviously in the black bag in my bin, I just sprinkle a bit of this in, and it smells so nice and it works really well, and it's lasted me for ages, up to 44 doses for a 120 litre bin. But yeah, I like it as well. It looks like a little wee bin, it's cute. But yeah, there was another scent in there, but it was quite florally, and I don't like floral smells that much. So yeah, I highly recommend this if, I mean, my husband sits next to the bin, or pretty much near it, and he hates it. So since I've been using this, there's been no problems whatsoever. So we can't complain now being next to a bin. So yeah, definitely recommend this. My like babies, I have never ever bought Birkenstocks before. But my sister-in-law bought some because she's had foot problems, and I have a bad knee on my left knee, and then I also have a bad left foot. I have very high arches, and basically my doctor said that my feet and the tendons aren't supporting my feet very well. So what would happen is the ball of my foot on my left foot would just swell. It would look like a massive ball at the bottom of, it would be on the ball of my foot, but it would like be huge. So now I've been using a walking stick and stuff, it's not so bad because it takes the pressure off that foot, but I needed something to wear on holiday that I would feel comfortable in, but I could rely on. So because using a stick, I didn't want to use like flip-flops and stuff like that, because one, having flat shoes will not work with my foot whatsoever. I didn't want something that could easily fall off. So if I'm walking with my stick and then the next minute my foot slides off, I could easily lose my balance and fall over. I mean, when it's really windy, I almost fall over and lose my balance because the wind knocks my stick. Either when I put it down, it knocks it so it's like goes in front of me, or when it's already down, the wind hits it and I lose balance, because when you walk with a stick, you use half the weight on your bad leg and half the other weight on a stick. So you rely heavily on that. So I didn't want to do the same with my feet, so I'd use my stick and then I'd lose my balance because, yeah, basically bad shoes. So sliders seems to be the most comfortable for my feet. I remember last time the fluffy sliders I got from Primark were the best, but I needed something that my feet would not budge and they would stay in it. And I also have a habit of scrunching my toes up when I walk, which is not doing it any good either. So I got some Birkenstocks. These are the Madrid ones, and they've got like a floral pattern on. I kind of went with these because they're like a nude, but I like them because they've got floral on them. But yeah, they'll pretty much go with anything. So yeah, I've been loving them. I've been wearing them, making sure they're comfortable and stuff. And my sister-in-law said that the first few days of wearing them feel very strange and might seem a bit uncomfortable, but then you kind of realise that when you go back to normal shoes that these are a lot better. But I found them comfortable straight away. I had no problems with it. The only thing that I kind of needed, well, it took some time getting used to, was the not scrunching my toes. I still try and scrunch my toes up. These are the narrow ones, that's why they're quite thin. my feet staying in perfectly. They're not too tight or even too loose. I can still slide them on and off, but I try and squeeze my toes in them still, and I can't because of where they sit here, but that's good. That's the only thing I had to get used to, of realising that I didn't need to squish my toes up when I walked, and still try to, but obviously I can't in these shoes. So yeah, I absolutely love these. It's probably the worst time to kind of like get them when it's coming into autumn, winter, but like I said, needed them for a holiday. The next one I got was something called like a reading pillow or like a lumbar pillow. There's loads of different ones you can get. I wanted something for my lower back. So sitting down, I sit down quite often, obviously, and I keep my legs up and whatnot. And I needed something that would support my lower back, because if I sit down for too long, my back starts to really hurt, like the lower of the back and my shoulder blades. But on the sofa, I can seem to get in a comfortable position that my shoulder blades don't hurt, but my lower back does. So I got this. You can get bigger ones, so the ones that go all the way up your back and then even support your neck, but I only needed a small one. So yeah, this is a pillow. It basically kind of like goes around you like this. You can't really see it, but it's basically like this. And then I sit back on the sofa. So it's a bit more comfortable for me. I get a bit more support. My sofa's a scatter back, so I've got all them pillows for support, but obviously I can't use all of them because there's other people sitting on the sofa. But that seems to help loads. I got this from Amazon. I can't link it down below because it's sold out. I wanted to get another one for Andrew, and then I wanted to get a pink one for Ava. Unfortunately they sold out. I think it's because this is the cheapest one I found that was still good. So yeah, I'll try and link something below, but if not, that's the reason why, because that one sold out. I need my phone now because there's nothing here. Another thing that I got as well a few weeks ago, so it was definitely a couple of months ago, is some light colours changes. I was going to get one. You basically screw it on your tap, and when the water comes out it activates a light. And I was going to get one where it would go through loads of different colours, but people were complaining that it was quite fast. So I went for the temperature one. And basically it means when I turn on the tap, if it's blue it means it's cold, if it's green it means it's warm, and if it's red it means it's hot. I basically got them to something fun. It's basically, the kids have got through a stage now. It should be a routine now that they should wash their hands constantly throughout the day, but they're still moaning about it. So I thought if I got a fun tap that changed light, like the colours, lights changed on it, then it could be more fun than just them like, oh yeah, I'm washing my hands type thing. So yeah, I got it mainly for that. So it looked quite cool. But I've also found a benefit of something else as well. Basically I've got them in all the taps. Most of them. The only one I've not got in the bath, because I know your water kind of runs through really fast in there, and I was worried about it. So the only one doesn't have it is the bath, but we have it one in the ensuite, sink, the family bathroom, downstairs toilet, and then in the kitchen. And it's really, really, really beneficial for in the kitchen, because normally the tap kind of just, you know, comes out. This one's kind of separated it, so it comes out like more of like, it's not a shower head, but it kind of reminds me of that, but it's a lot more powerful. So if I say we've just had food and I've done all the pots, but there's just the plates that are left, I can turn the tap on, and because it's that powerful, kind of like just spin the pea around and it knocks all the stuff off and it's clean. So I've found a massive help in the kitchen sink for that, because it's powerful. It kind of like cleans it, which is awesome. So yeah, if you're struggling with like pressure and stuff in your taps, that is a good thing to do as well. And obviously it's very fun because the kids love it. Another thing that has been very recent, so only the past couple of weeks, is my kids' desks. My son had a desk in his room, but it was getting very tattered and chipped, and we've been living here 3 years, and he's basically had that between 2 to 3 years, and it was getting very worn down. So I ended up getting one from IKEA. I actually got two from IKEA because Ava's got one now in her room, and I love it. The desk they had before was just a desk, and there was nothing special about it. There was nothing like extra. It was just a desk. But this one has so much different things in it that it's so much better than the old one. So it has a hole in the top right hand side to put all the wires through. And my favourite thing is underneath it has a shelf. So it has a kind of like an invisible drawer. It's got no handle on it, you just kind of like pull it. But if you pull the drawer out, under, like right at the back, there's kind of like a bit that goes like this against the back, and then holes either side underneath it. So what you do is you thread your wires through, and then if you have big blocks, like for example we have an Xbox in Ava's room, so we'll put the Xbox block, not the actual Xbox, but the power block inside there. So they could have power cables going through either end underneath, and then it would go up into the big hole and then go obviously into the PC screen or the TV. I'll show you anyway, just to explain it, because I'm really bad at explaining stuff. But I love it. But that means all under Ava's desks there is no wires whatsoever. That's what I was really worried about, of all the wires for her. There's just her Xbox. I mean, yeah, there's some wires coming from her Xbox, but you can't really see them or anything. And they're obviously plugged, they go up. But it means that she can't catch a wire, she can't touch them or anything like that, because they're all on this shelf inside. So I highly recommend it. We've got the small one, it's called a Mickey. But we got the small one. I was hoping to get the bigger one for Andrew, because it has kind of like a little place where the, not the PC monitor, but the big bulky thing of the PC goes on. And because Andrew's got a big PC like that, I was going to use that one, but it was just way too long to fit all of his stuff in his room. So we went with both of them being the small ones, but it is still the same. There's two Mickeys. There's the smaller one and then the big one. So I highly recommend them. And they're a decent price as well, and they're really easy to put up. Yeah, the kids love them, I love them. Another one is, I've had it before basically, but just before lockdown, or just as we get into lockdown, and threw it away. We didn't really need it because we didn't go anywhere obviously in the car, but it was breaking. So I love car bins, and the kids love them as well, and I get these special ones which are called Freaky Friend Tidies or something like that, Freaky Tidies. It's basically a monster, and it's got a mouth, and you basically feed it all your rubbish. When we first, not long after we first got it, Andrew ripped the mouth a little bit, so it was fine. But then one of the, we had it for years, like 2 years. But then one of the bits that wraps around the head of the car, the seat headrest, it broke, it snapped. So we got rid of it, and then since we've been back into normal routines of school and stuff, my kids were just throwing rubbish on the floor, and I was like, no, you put it in the bin. But then they'd forget when they get out to put it in the bin, so it get left in the car. So I've got 2 now, so both of them have got 1. So Ava's got like a pink butterfly one, and Andrew's got the same one as before. It's like an orange one, but it looks like a bin lid on its head. These are great because it means the kids can tag it the rubbish, and they just think they're feeding the monster all the rubbish. So highly recommend them if you've got young kids that basically are a bit of a mess at the back of the car, like mine. But they're probably the most useful thing ever. I mean, I didn't have them for a few days, obviously, when we started going back to school and things, and it was horrible. The car was a mess. Lisa now, they clean up after themselves, and basically when they're full, you just empty them into the bin. Right, the next one, well, the next 2 are a couple of things for Andrew's room. Recently, it literally came just a couple of days ago, is Andrew's Desenio print. I don't know, since lockdown I've just been into Desenio. I've got one for my bathroom, and then I've got 3 now for my hallway, and then I've just got 1 for Andrew's room. I am going to get 2 in here as well, up at the bed. But yeah, I got one. Basically, his set of drawers were against his like feature wall, and my niece's kind of like blow up bed would break in. So I got a camp bed, but because the camp bed is a bit bigger, it's like one of those you kind of like fold out and it's floating, the set of drawers were in the way. So I moved them to the other side of the wall, so instead of there, it was there. And it basically made this whole wall where the set of drawers were on just so plain, and since we painted his room white as well, it just looks so plain. So I decided to pick some of my favourite Desenio ones that I know Andrew would love, and then he basically just looked through them all and picked his favourite, and he picked for an astronaut. He loves space, and it was black and white, so I went with the black and white pictures. So you can click anything, you can choose a style you want, colour, style, and loads of different things. So I just clicked on black and white ones, and yeah, he picked the astronaut, and it looks so nice. I just like the prints, they're really good. So yeah, he was dead chuffed with that, and it looks really, really nice in his room. The next one is, I got it a few weeks ago, is some stands for his Nerf gun. Basically, I was kind of fed up when they'd have sleepovers. He'd bring his chair in here and his toy box in here, and I was like, I can't get my wardrobe because there's chairs and toy boxes everywhere. So basically, the toy box we have downstairs, the grey and white kind of rope box, I decided to get him that one, but downside is it's a lot smaller than the one he had. He kind of had a blue, kind of like, you know, one of the things you can use like in builders and stuff where you carry rocks and stuff in and whatever. It was basically like one of those, and it downsized it a bit, which means he couldn't fit all of his Nerf guns in there because he loves Nerf guns. And I can remember ages ago that I can remember seeing someone use hooks to hang the Nerf guns on walls. So I went and got some. I was looking everywhere to try and find them, but I found some. They're called like garage hooks that you're meant to put in your garage to put like equipment on. And yeah, I've just basically done it for his Nerf guns. So now he's got like a feature wall underneath his bed where his Nerf guns are there. So it's tidier, and it looks like he's got more space now as well, because obviously he's got a smaller toy box and then the big things are up on the wall. So it's definitely beneficial, and he's actually tidying his Nerf guns away. So when his friends come over or whatever, he basically have Nerf gun battles. Just means that, yeah, he can, he tidies them away because he likes them hung up on the wall. But yeah, that is everything I've been loving this past couple of months. But I hope you enjoy the video. I'll link as much as I can in the description box with all the things I've talked about, or most of the things I've spoken about. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye!